The Galactic Academy sat on a floating island above a green gas giant. Its halls stretched for kilometers, filled with classrooms, laboratories, and training arenas. Cadets from every corner of the galaxy arrived to learn the arts of space exploration, strategy, and survival. Today, a new batch of students would enter the academy. Among them were the Death Worlders. Humans born on planets so harsh most species could not survive. The other cadets watched them as they arrived. Humans were smaller in number, but their confident steps drew attention. Aliens whispered among themselves. "Why do they look so calm?" asked a blue-scaled cadet named Kiri. "They come from worlds where storms melt mountains and creatures eat steel," another replied. The humans carried cages with them. Unlike the small, colorful pets that alien cadets brought, these cages were plain metal, reinforced and humming softly. The other students leaned closer, curious. A green-furred alien named Boro tapped one cage with a claw. The cage rattled, but nothing aggressive happened, yet the air around it seemed tense. In the classroom, the instructor, a tall being named Zorlon, welcomed everyone. This semester, each student will introduce their companion, show its abilities and how it responds to commands. Safety is important. Alien cadets went first. Small drones zipped through the air, practicing formations. Miniature creatures crawled along walls, fetching objects on command. The class smiled politely. Then it was the humans' turn. Tom stepped forward first. He placed his cage on the table and opened the door. From inside, a low growl echoed. The class froze. From the shadows of the cage emerged a creature with dark scales, a long spiked tail, and eyes that glowed faintly in the dim light. Its limbs moved with perfect balance, and it sniffed the floor, its head tilting toward Tom. "This is my companion, Rax," Tom said calmly. His voice carried no fear, only control. "Rax will demonstrate obedience." The creature shifted on its four legs and suddenly leapt into the air. It landed on a platform, rolled, and came back to Tom without harming anyone. The alien cadets gasped. None of their pets could move so fast and still follow commands with such precision. Lena followed, carrying a slightly larger cage. Her creature, a six-legged animal with shimmering armor-like skin, crept out. Its eyes were bright orange, and small fangs peeked from its mouth. It moved gracefully, circling Lena as she gestured. She pointed to a small training obstacle, and the creature leapt over walls, dodged swinging barriers, and landed perfectly on the target. The aliens whispered, growing more nervous with each display. A cadet with purple feathers leaned forward. Are these animals dangerous?" she asked in a trembling voice. Tom shook his head slightly. "Only if they are told to be. Otherwise, they follow my commands exactly." Zorlin, the instructor, nodded but looked concerned. "Very impressive, humans. It seems your companions are unlike any other cadets." Another human stepped forward. His creature was smaller, but covered in spikes. When he tapped it gently, it rolled into a ball and smashed through a training wall without breaking a sweat. The aliens stared, realizing these humans were used to life-and-death situations from a very young age. Their companions were not pets for plays, they were trained survival partners. The demonstration ended, but the room buzzed with nervous energy. Alien cadets exchanged worried glances. Kiri whispered, "I thought humans were weak. I think I was wrong." Tom returned his creature to the cage without a sound. Lena followed, her creature curling at her feet. No humans spoke loudly or boasted. Their calm confidence was unnerving. Every alien present could feel the difference between themselves and these humans. After class, the aliens gathered outside. "Why would anyone train an animal like that?" Boro asked. "It is terrifying. They survive worlds we cannot even imagine," said another. "Perhaps their pets are reflections of themselves. If they can control these beasts, they can control anything." Meanwhile, Tom and his friends walked quietly down the hall, cages in hand. They did not gloat. They knew the creatures were extensions of their will, tools to survive and protect. Yet they also sensed the nervous energy of the others. The alien cadets did not yet know it, but they had just witnessed the first lesson of the Death Worlders: Respect comes from understanding strength. Even Zorlan, the instructor, could not hide a hint of worry. Humans were unpredictable, and their creatures were part of that unpredictability. Other cadets might think the humans were strange, but Zorlan knew one day their true potential would become impossible to ignore as the sun of the gas giant dipped behind the floating academy as the new students headed to their quarters. Alien whispers filled the corridors. Humans and their pets moved silently, calm and confident. Outside, the stars shone, and somewhere in the distance, creatures on faraway worlds howled. The first day had ended, but for the alien cadets, the lesson had just begun. They realized that the humans and their so-called pets were not just another curiosity. They were a warning, and in the quiet corners of the academy, the Deathworlders prepared for a semester that would test everyone in ways no alien could yet imagine. The next morning, the cadets gathered in the academy's massive training arena. Sunlight from the gas giant glinted through the transparent roof, casting long shadows on the floor. The arena was designed for practical exercises, with walls that could shift, obstacles that could rise, and hazards that simulated dangerous worlds. Alien cadets prepared their companions carefully, adjusting controls, checking leashes, and ensuring their creatures were ready. The humans arrived carrying their cages with calm precision. Tom, Lena, and the others set their companions down and opened the doors. The creatures stepped out smoothly, tails swaying, claws clicking softly against the metal floor. Alien cadets whispered among themselves. "Those creatures do not even seem nervous," said a yellow-skinned cadet named Miko. "They move like soldiers, not pets." Zorlan, the instructor, raised a hand. "Today's lesson will test agility, obedience, and coordination. Each student will guide their companion through a simulated mission. There will be obstacles, traps, and sudden changes. Remember, the goal is to observe control and strategy, not strength alone." The first alien cadets went. Small creatures moved through tunnels, dodged falling panels, and pushed objects into designated areas. Some struggled with timing, others panicked when a hazard appeared. The humans watched quietly, taking mental notes. When it was Tom's turn, the arena fell silent. He gestured to Rax, who crouched low, eyes glowing faintly. At Tom's command, Rax sprinted toward the first wall, scaled it with ease, and leapt to a platform above. A swinging barrier appeared suddenly, and Rax ducked under it without losing speed. The alien cadets gasped. No mechanical drone or alien creature had ever moved with such fluidity. "Impressive," Zorlan said, his voice steady but tight. "Continue." Tom signaled, and Rax rolled through a narrow gap, then used its tail to knock a trap aside. When it reached the target point, it crouched and waited for the next command. The maneuver had looked effortless, but the alien cadets could see the precision behind every move. Lena stepped forward next. Her six-legged companion Vera leaped from wall to wall, balancing on narrow beams. When a simulated lava pit opened in the floor, Vera paused for only a fraction of a second, then jumped clear, landing perfectly on the other side. A group of alien cadets watched, mouths open, realizing their own creatures could not manage such timing or balance. Another human, a young boy named Max, released a small spiked creature. It rolled like a ball, smashing through barriers without breaking, then unrolled, ready to follow commands. The aliens whispered among themselves. "These humans are different," said Curie, shaking her head. "Their creatures obey instinctively, but the humans control them like they are extensions of themselves." Zorlan called the class together. "Notice the difference. These cadets from Deathworlds do not just train their companions, they train with them. Survival is part of their nature. Their connection is instinctive, built from years and environments designed to kill." Miko, the yellow-skinned cadet, frowned. "But they are just children. How can they control creatures like that?" Lena smiled slightly. "We are used to harsh worlds. We survive by understanding danger and mastering it. Our companions are part of that. They're not toys. They're partners." The aliens nodded nervously. It assumed humans were fragile compared to their own species, but these humans and their companions were clearly designed to endure the impossible. The exercise continued. Each obstacle was more dangerous than the last, Mechanical spikes shot from walls, simulated fires burst across the floor, and moving platforms tested balance. Alien cadets often struggled. The creatures froze or miscalculated, some even collapsing when stress increased. But the humans' companions moved with controlled precision. Tom's Rax jumped over a pit of simulated acid, landed on a narrow beam, and caught a falling crate with its tail. Vera moved in perfect rhythm alongside Rax, responding to Lena's subtle hand gestures. Max's small creature rolled through a maze of traps, smashing obstacles with careful accuracy. Even Zorlin looked impressed. "This is more than training," he said aloud. "The humans do not just teach their companions, they anticipate danger, adapt instantly, and act with calm confidence. It is remarkable." During a brief break, alien cadets huddled together. "Do they even feel fear?" asked a purple-feathered cadet. "Their creatures could kill anyone if told to, and yet they remain calm." "They grew up like this," said another alien softly. "Planets where everything hunts you, environments where you cannot afford mistakes. Their calm is learned, strength is natural." After the break, Zorlin introduced a final challenge. Simulation of a collapsing asteroid field appeared, complete with falling debris, sudden explosions, and unstable surfaces. Alien cadets prepared as best as they could. Their creatures hesitated, unsure where to move. Panic rippled through the arena, then the humans stepped forward. Tom signaled Rax, Lena signaled Vera, and Max commanded his creature. The three creatures moved in perfect unison, weaving through hazards, dodging falling obstacles, and completing the course without a single misstep. Alien cadets gasped. Not one creature had faltered. Not one human had shouted or gestured aggressively. Every movement was precise, controlled, and calculated. When the exercise ended, the arena fell silent. Alien cadets stared at the humans. Some creatures trembled, sensing the difference between their masters and these humans. Others simply hid, unwilling to challenge the display of skill and instinct. Zorlin stepped forward. "This is the final lesson of the day. Humans and their companions are not to be underestimated. They survive worlds designed to destroy them, and their instincts extend to every aspect of their lives. Respect their abilities and learn from them. Fear is natural, but understanding is strength." The humans returned their companions to cages. The creatures entered calmly, as if nothing extraordinary had occurred. The aliens stared, still processing what they had witnessed. In the hallways afterward, whispers filled the air. "They are not children," said one. "They are warriors from birth." "They treat their companions like extensions of themselves," said another. "We have toys, they have partners." Tom walked with Lena and Max. "Do they understand?" he asked quietly. Lena shook her head. "Some may never. But that is okay. They will learn soon enough." Max smiled. "I think they are already scared." "They are," said Tom softly. "Fear is part of learning, but respect will come first." As the cadets left the arena, alien students could not shake the feeling of awe and dread. Humans were different. Their companions were different. And for the first time, the aliens realized that survival, instinct, and calm control could be more terrifying than any weapon. That night, in their quarters, alien cadets could not sleep. They thought about the creatures, about the humans, about the precision and control they had witnessed. Some worried about what would come next in the semester. Others simply stared at the walls, realizing their assumptions about humans had been wrong. Meanwhile, in another corner of the academy, the humans prepared quietly for the next day. Their companions rested, ready to respond to subtle signals. The Deathworlders did not boast. They did not seek praise. They trained, survived, and waited. And somewhere deep in the minds of the alien cadets, the understanding grew. These humans were not like the others. The lesson of the arena had ended. The first step in understanding the Deathworlders had only begun. The aliens would remember this day for the rest of their lives. The Academy's training grounds were quiet the next morning, but the air felt heavy. Alien cadets whispered nervously. Some spoke about the humans and their companions. Others tried to focus on their own exercises, but their minds kept drifting back to the previous day's demonstration. The Deathworlders had set a standard no one else could match. Tom, Lena, and Max arrived with their companions, moving calmly through the corridors. Their creatures followed silently, tails flicking, eyes alert. Nothing startled them. They seemed as much part of the humans as their own limbs. Other cadets gave them wide space, still uneasy about the power the humans held in such calm bodies. Zorlan, instructor, approached the group. Today we will practice a simulation of an alien attack. You will navigate a forested environment with potential hazards. Pay attention. Strategy and observation are more important than force. The cadets nodded and made their way to the simulated forest. Trees were tall, their leaves thick, creating shadows that hid dangers. Small drones hovered, representing enemy scouts. Alien cadets prepared their companions, some checking gear, others giving final commands. The atmosphere was tense. Tom led his group calmly. "Stay alert," he said quietly. "Remember your training." Rax crouched low, scanning the area with glowing eyes. Vera followed Lena, moving lightly, sensing every movement in the forest. Max's small spiked companion scurried ahead, testing the ground. Ready to report danger with subtle signals, the alien cadets tried to follow, but the humans moved with a precision that left them behind. Tom spotted a fallen tree blocking the path. He signaled Rax. With a swift leap, Rax climbed the tree, balanced on its branches, and cleared a path for the others. Lena gestured, and Vera jumped, landing lightly on a narrow branch, steady as if she had been walking on it for years. Suddenly, an alarm sounded. A group of rogue drones, programmed to attack unexpectedly, emerged from the shadows. Alien cadets froze. Their creatures hesitated, unsure how to respond. Panic began to ripple through the forest. "Move," Tom shouted calmly. Rax darted forward, intercepting the first wave of drones. With precise strikes, it knocked the mechanical attackers aside without harming the forest or the humans. Vera and Max's companion moved in tandem, creating a protective path and clearing obstacles. The aliens watched in shock. Their own creatures struggled to react. Some tried to attack but missed, while others froze entirely. The humans' companions moved, as if anticipating every danger before it arrived. Every action was calculated, every movement exact. Zorlan observed quietly from a high platform. "Notice how they operate as a unit," he said. "The humans do not need to shout. Their creatures understand instinctively. Their control comes from mutual trust and training, not fear or brute force." Tom signaled Rax to climb a rocky ledge. From there, the creatures surveyed the forest, identifying threats and weak points. Lena's Vera moved silently among the trees, distracting rogue drones and guiding alien cadets safely through. Max's small spiked companion rolled along the forest floor, dismantling traps and warning of dangers before anyone stepped on them. One alien cadet, a tall being with translucent wings, stumbled and fell. A rogue drone moved toward him, ready to attack. Without hesitation, Rax leaped, intercepting the drone and knocking it aside. The cadet gasped, realizing he had just been saved by a creature he had feared moments before. "Why do they not panic?" whispered Kiri to another cadet. "Their creatures could kill anyone, and yet they move as if nothing is wrong." "They were raised like this," the other replied softly. "Survival on their worlds requires calm and focus. Fear cannot control them. They control fear." Simulation grew more complex. Fires erupted in the forest, mechanical obstacles fell, and enemy drones swarmed from all sides. Alien cadets struggled to keep pace. Their creatures often froze, panicked, or failed to follow commands. The humans, however, moved as a single unit. Their creatures reacted instantly to every change. Guided by instinct, training, and subtle signals from their masters, Tom climbed a small hill, surveying the chaos below. "Lena, guide the group around the northern trap. Max, cover the rear. Rax, lead." Creatures responded immediately. Vera darted ahead, clearing paths and guiding alien cadets. Max's companions scurried behind, ensuring no one was left exposed. Rax led from the front, striking down rogue drones with precision. The alien cadets began to understand the lesson. Humans and their companions were not just physically capable, they were thinkers, planners, and problem solvers. They did not rely solely on strength. They anticipated dangers, adapted quickly, and used resources effectively. At one point, a massive falling log blocked the group's path. Alien cadets panicked, unsure how to move. Rax and Vera moved quickly. Rax grabbed the log with a strong tail and pushed it aside. Vera guided the cadets safely through the space cleared. Even Max's small, spiked companion assisted, rolling under the log to disarm small mechanical traps hidden beneath. When the simulation ended, the forest was scattered with harmless remnants of the rogue drones and obstacles. Alien cadets were exhausted, shaken, but alive. The humans and their companions were calm, as if nothing had happened. Zorlin addressed the group. Today, you witnessed how humans and their companions operate under pressure. Observe carefully. Notice their calm, their anticipation, and the trust between master and companion. These qualities cannot be taught in a classroom alone. They are earned through experience, discipline, and survival. The alien cadets nodded slowly. Fear had shifted into respect. Some creatures that had frozen during the simulation now looked uneasy, as if aware of the humans' potential. The aliens could feel the difference between themselves and the Deathworlders. In the corridors afterward, whispers filled the air. They do not just survive. They dominate their environment without chaos. They control instinct and danger at the same time, said another cadet. It is terrifying. Tom, Lena, and Max returned to their quarters. Their companions followed, calm and obedient. They will talk about this for weeks, Max said softly. They will, Lena replied. And one day they will understand. But that is not our concern. We train, we survive, and we protect. That is enough. Looked at their companions. They did well today. Every obstacle was met with calm and focus. That is what matters. Outside, alien cadets watched silently as the humans disappeared down the hall. Some were inspired, some intimidated, but all had a new understanding. The humans' calm mastery of their environment, combined with the lethal efficiency of their companions, set them apart from every other species in the academy. For the first time, alien cadets realized that survival, intelligence, and calm control could be more powerful than any weapon or technology. The Deathworlders had brought not only their companions, but also a lesson in fearlessness, strategy, and instinct. That night, the alien cadets could not sleep. Some replayed the simulation in their minds, still shocked by the human skill. Others thought about their own creatures and wondered why they had faltered. The lesson of the forest would not be forgotten. Meanwhile, in the quiet halls of the academy, the humans and their companions rested. The creatures curled at their master's feet, calm and obedient. The Deathworlders did not boast. They did not celebrate. They prepared for what would come next, knowing that every challenge tested not only their companions' abilities, but also their own strength, calm, and intelligence. The academy had seen many cadets and creatures, but none like the Deathworlders and their companions. And for the alien cadets, the understanding began to settle in. Respect, caution, and vigilance were necessary when dealing with humans. The forest simulation was only the beginning. The true tests of skill, teamwork, and survival were yet to come. And somewhere in the quiet corners of the academy, the Deathworlders prepared, calm and ready, for challenges that would push every cadet to the limit. The next day, the Galactic Academy announced an unexpected challenge. A simulated disaster had been prepared for the cadets, a mock alien invasion with unpredictable hazards. Unlike previous exercises, this one was designed to be chaotic, dangerous, and stressful. Alien cadets prepared cautiously, double-checking their equipment and ensuring their companions were ready. Whispers spread through the halls. This will be difficult. Many of our creatures might fail. Tom, Lena, and Max arrived with calm expressions. Their companions followed silently, alert and ready. Alien cadets stared as the humans set their cages down and opened them with deliberate precision. The creatures stepped out, tails swaying, claws tapping lightly against the floor. Every eye followed their movements. Zorlin addressed the group. Today, the simulation is unpredictable. Your companions will face dynamic threats, from ambushes to environmental hazards. Pay attention. Strategy, observation, and control are essential. Survival is not guaranteed. The cadets moved toward the simulation arena. The floor shifted beneath them, creating uneven terrain. Trees, rocks, and artificial cliffs appeared, simulating a recently devastated alien planet. Drones flew overhead, programmed to attack suddenly, and hidden traps waited to challenge both cadets and creatures. Alien cadets hesitated as the simulation began. Their companions struggled to react to the sudden hazards. Some froze, others miscalculated jumps, or failed to follow commands. Panic spread. Then Tom and Rax moved forward. Rax crouched low, scanning the environment with glowing eyes. Every movement was precise, every step deliberate. Lena and Vera followed, weaving through obstacles with balance and speed. Max's spiked companion scurried ahead, testing paths and dismantling small traps. A sudden attack came from above. Rogue drones swooped down, firing harmless but loud projectiles to simulate danger. Alien cadets scattered, but the humans' companions reacted instantly. Rax leaped into the air, striking the drones with tail and claws, knocking them away. Vera darted through the shadows, distracting other drones and guiding alien cadets safely. Max's companion rolled into position, deflecting projectiles and clearing obstacles simultaneously. The alien cadets watched in shock. Their own creatures faltered under pressure. Some froze completely. Others moved unpredictably, causing more confusion than help. The humans and their companions, however, moved with perfect coordination. Anticipating every danger, every obstacle, every attack, Zorlin observed from above. Notice the calm. Notice the control. The Deathworlders do not panic. Their creatures respond instinctively because of the trust and training built over years of survival. Fear cannot control them. Only strategy and focus guide their actions. Sudden hazard appeared. A simulated lava flow blocked the path forward. Alien cadets froze, unsure how to navigate. Tom gestured to Rax. The creature leapt onto a ledge, balancing perfectly on narrow rocks, while simultaneously creating a safe path for the others. Lena signaled Vera, who moved quickly to stabilize alien cadets who hesitated. Max's spiked companion rolled under the lava flow, dismantling hidden traps and clearing a path for those behind. One alien cadet stumbled and fell near a mechanical trap. Rax darted forward, intercepting the trap's activation and saving the cadet. The creature returned calmly to Tom's side, tail flicking as if nothing had happened. Alien cadets gasped, realizing the humans' companions could act independently, yet remain perfectly obedient. The simulation grew more complex. Falling rocks, sudden fires, and shifting platforms created near impossible challenges. Alien cadets struggled, their creatures failing to adapt. The humans, however, remained calm. Every hazard was met with calculation. Every threat was addressed with strategy. Every step was controlled, measured, and precise. In one area, a simulated enemy ambush surrounded a group of alien cadets. Their creatures panicked, causing chaos. Tom signaled Rax. With a swift leap, Rax struck the nearest enemy, while Vera and Max's companion created openings for the cadets to escape. Alien cadets realized they had been saved without even understanding how it had happened. The humans and their companions had acted instinctively, combining observation, experience, and trust. When the simulation ended, the arena was filled with debris, scorched areas, and scattered obstacles. Alien cadets were exhausted, shaken, and silent. The humans and their companions stood calmly, unaffected by the chaos. They returned to their cages without a sound, creatures obedient, precise, and calm. Zorlin addressed the group. Today's challenge demonstrates more than skill. It demonstrates instinct, control, and trust. The humans and their companions adapt under pressure because survival is ingrained in them. Panic does not guide them. Strategy does. Observation does. Trust does. Alien cadets, take note. Strength alone is not enough. Calm, focus, and experience determine the outcome of any challenge. The alien cadets nodded, slowly understanding the difference. Fear had shifted into awe. They realized their assumptions about humans were wrong. These humans were not fragile. They were adaptable, intelligent, and in full control of both themselves and their companions. In the corridors afterward, cadets whispered, "They make it look easy. Nothing seems to surprise them." "They survive worlds we could not endure," said another, "and their companions are extensions of themselves. Everything they do is coordinated, instinctive, and precise." Tom, Lena, and Max walked quietly to their quarters. Their companions followed calmly, tails flicking, eyes alert but relaxed. "They will talk about this for weeks," Max said softly. "They will," Lena replied, "but we do not worry about them. We train, we survive, and we prepare. That is enough." Tom nodded. "Every challenge is another opportunity to improve. Every obstacle teaches us to stay calm and focused. That is what matters." Outside, alien cadets could not stop thinking about what had happened. Some tried to replay the events in their minds, still amazed by the human skill and control. Others considered their own creatures and training, realizing how far behind they were. The lesson of the real test had been learned. Humans and their companions were not just strong, they were masters of survival, strategy, and instinct. That night, alien cadets could not sleep. Some stared at the walls, thinking about the humans' abilities. Some whispered in fear and respect. The Death Worlders had shown them the power of calm, observation, and partnership. The humans' creatures were extensions of that power, capable of lethal efficiency under subtle control. Meanwhile, in the quiet halls of the academy, the humans and their companions rested. The creatures curled at their masters' feet, obedient and calm. The Death Worlders did not boast. They did not celebrate. They prepared for the challenges ahead. Knowing that every test would demand focus, precision, and instinct, the academy had trained many cadets and many creatures. But none like the Death Worlders and their companions. Alien cadets would remember this day, the real test, and the demonstration of calm mastery. Fear had become respect. Respect had become understanding. The real challenge was not over. It had only begun. And somewhere deep in the minds of the alien cadets, the realization settled in. Humans were unlike any species they had ever encountered. Survival, intelligence, and calm control made them unpredictable, powerful, and worthy of respect. The Death Worlders and their companions were ready, and for the aliens, the lesson had just begun. The Academy announced the final challenge of the semester. Unlike previous exercises, this one would combine all elements the cadets had practiced: unpredictable terrain, enemy ambushes, environmental hazards, and time pressure. It was designed to test not only skill and strategy, but also adaptability and calm under extreme stress. Alien cadets murmured nervously as they prepared. Many doubted they could succeed, but all knew the humans and their companions would set the standard. Tom, Lena, and Max arrived with their companions. Moving calmly through the corridors, their creatures followed silently, alert but relaxed, as if sensing the importance of the day. Alien cadets gave them wide space. Every step the humans took drew attention, their calm confidence spreading unease and admiration. Zorlin addressed the cadets. "This challenge is the final test. Your companions will be essential. Observe, adapt, and survive. Remember, unpredictability is part of every mission. Success depends on strategy, calm, and cooperation." The cadets entered the simulation arena. It was massive, covering the size of several city blocks. Artificial hills, rivers, rocky cliffs, and forested areas created a complex environment. Rogue drones moved unpredictably, while mechanical traps and simulated environmental hazards tested every skill the cadets had learned. Alien cadets prepared their creatures. But fear lingered. Many hesitated, unsure how to respond to the chaos that awaited. Some of the larger creatures became nervous, shifting uneasily. Sensing the challenge ahead, the humans moved forward calmly. Tom gestured to Rax, who crouched low, scanning the environment with glowing eyes. Lena signaled Vera, who moved through the trees with silent precision. Max released his spiked companion, which rolled forward to scout the terrain. Every movement was measured, precise, and coordinated. Suddenly, the arena shifted. A simulated quake shook the ground, toppling trees and sending rocks tumbling. Alien cadets panicked. Some creatures froze. Others ran in confusion, causing chaos. The humans and their companions reacted instantly. Rax leaped onto a fallen tree, using it as a bridge to guide alien cadets safely across a chasm. Vera darted between shifting rocks, stabilizing those who hesitated. Max's small companion scouted ahead, disarming traps and identifying safe paths. The humans did not shout or panic. Their calm guided their creatures, which acted as extensions of their will. A sudden ambush of rogue drones appeared from above. Alien cadets scattered, some falling into hazards. Tom signaled Rax, who leapt into the air, striking drones mid-flight and knocking them safely aside. Lena's Vera moved through the shadows, distracting enemies and guiding cadets to safety. Max's spiked companion rolled into position, deflecting projectiles and clearing paths. The alien cadets watched in awe. Their own creatures struggled. Some froze entirely, while others moved unpredictably. The humans and their companions moved with unity, precision, and calm. Every threat was addressed efficiently, every obstacle overcome with strategy, skill, and instinct. At one point, a simulated lava flow erupted, blocking the path forward. Alien cadets panicked, unsure how to cross. Tom gestured to Rax, who leapt onto a narrow ledge, balancing carefully while creating a safe path for the others. Lena signaled Vera, who stabilized cadets as they navigated the hazardous terrain. Max's spiked companion rolled under the lava flow, clearing small traps and ensuring no one was left exposed. One alien cadet stumbled and fell near a mechanical hazard. Rax moved instantly, intercepting the danger and saving the cadet. The creature returned to Tom's side calmly, as if nothing had happened. Alien cadets realized their assumptions about humans and their companions had been wrong. These were not ordinary cadets. These were survival masters, trained to anticipate danger and act decisively. As the simulation continued, the challenges increased. Exploding rocks, sudden fires, shifting platforms, and rogue drones created chaos across the arena. Alien cadets struggled, their creatures panicked, and some gave up. The humans, however, remained calm. Every move was calculated, every step precise. Their companions responded instinctively, guided by trust, experience, and subtle signals. Zorlin observed from above. Observed the humans. Their calm, their coordination, their ability to adapt under pressure, these qualities define survival. They do not rely on brute strength alone. They rely on observation, strategy, and instinct. That is why the Deathworlders are feared and respected across the galaxy. The simulation reached its climax. A massive wall of fire blocked the path to the final checkpoint. Alien cadets hesitated, their creatures panicked, and chaos spread. Tom assessed the situation quickly. He signaled Rax to leap to a nearby ledge, creating a path along the rocks. Lena's Vera guided cadets along the side, stabilizing their steps. Max's spiked companion scouted ahead, dismantling hazards and clearing the way. One alien cadet froze in fear. Rax darted forward, guiding the cadet safely through the fire and rocks. The cadet gasped, realizing the creature had saved them without causing harm. Alien cadets began to understand the lesson. Humans and their companions were more than strong. They were skilled, intelligent, and perfectly coordinated. Finally, the humans and their companions reached the last checkpoint. They completed the simulation flawlessly, without injury or panic. Alien cadets followed, some struggling, but all alive. The humans returned their creatures to cages calmly. Their companions obeyed without hesitation, tails flicking, eyes alert but relaxed. Zorlin addressed the cadets. This final challenge demonstrates more than skill. It demonstrates instinct, strategy, and trust. Humans and their companions do not panic. They adapt. They observe. They act with precision. Strength alone cannot achieve this. calm, focus, and experience do. Alien cadets nodded slowly. Fear had transformed into awe and respect. They realized their assumptions about humans were wrong. The Deathworlders were not fragile. They were masters of survival, adaptability, and calm control. In the halls afterward, cadets whispered in amazement. They make it look easy. Nothing surprises them. They survive worlds we could never endure, said another. Their companions are extensions of themselves. Every move is instinctive, precise, and effective. Tom, Lena, and Max walked quietly to their quarters. Their companions followed silently, obedient and calm. They will remember this for a long time, Max said softly. They will, Lena replied, but we do not worry about them. We train, we survive, and we protect. That is enough. Tom nodded. Every challenge is an opportunity to improve. Every obstacle is a lesson. Calm and focus matter more than anything else. Outside, alien cadets could not stop thinking about the human skills. Some replayed the simulation in their minds, still amazed by the coordination and calm under pressure. Others thought about their own creatures, realizing how far behind they were. The lesson of the final challenge was clear. Humans and their companions were unlike any other cadets in the academy. That night, alien cadets lay awake, reflecting on what they had seen. The Deathworlders and their companions had shown them the power of calm mastery, strategy, and instinct. The creatures were extensions of their masters, capable of lethal efficiency under precise guidance. Fear had transformed into respect, and respect into understanding. Meanwhile, in the quiet quarters of the academy, the humans and their companions rested. The creatures curled at their masters' feet, calm, obedient, and alert. The Deathworlders did not boast. They did not celebrate. They prepared quietly for what challenges awaited next, knowing every test would demand focus, strategy, and instinct. The academy had trained countless cadets and countless creatures, but none like the Deathworlders and their companions. Alien cadets would remember this final challenge, the display of skill and the calm mastery of humans. Fear had become respect. Respect had become understanding. The Deathworlders had arrived not to compete, but to demonstrate that survival, intelligence, and calm control could overcome any obstacle. Alien cadets had learned the most important lesson of all. Underestimate humans at your own risk. As the stars of the gas giant glimmered outside, the humans and their companions rested. They were ready for whatever challenges the galaxy could bring. And for the alien cadets, the knowledge would linger. The Deathworlders and their companions were not ordinary. They were extraordinary. They were a force to be respected, feared, and admired.